Have you been to the zoo? When I was a child, I had the opportunity to go to the Bronx Zoo because my family lived in the greater New York City area, and it was a reasonable commute to go to the zoo. And one of the things as a child that I remember was seeing animals. And mind you, as an adult, there are animals that are still fierce and far larger than I am to this day. But I will guarantee you that to a child, an elephant seems amazingly large. And even moderate-size animals like chimpanzees seem big to a child, to say nothing of gorillas, lions, tigers, bears. But as a child, the variety of tropical birds and the colors that they had, the size and the scope of massive mammals that were at the Bronx Zoo, and the utter variety which included reptiles like alligators and crocodiles, the snake house that would have been where you could end up seeing snakes that were enormously long and large. All of this, when I was between, say, 7 and 12 years old, was just amazing to me. The variety of creation and the ability to go to a single place and to see all of this type of wildlife and to see things that were collected from Asia, things that were collected from Africa, things that were collected from South America, things that were collected from Siberia and from the Arctic Circle and Canada, and be able to walk from pavilion to pavilion and to see all types of animals made a real impression on me. And the impression that it made was this: there is such variety in this world. There are so many different types of animals. And when I was a kid, I would think of a bear, and I would think of a black or a brown bear, and that would be it. But to see the extraordinary variety of the different types of bears that live throughout the world and have them collected at the zoo was startling and amazing. The amazing variety of reptiles, of small reptiles, of medium-sized reptiles, of enormous reptiles, of reptiles of great ferocity that in the wild you would be very concerned about whether you would live through an encounter with, or reptiles that were utterly harmless and would simply be an annoyance because they were 3 to 5 inches long. All of this was part of making an impression on me. And I don't know how you relate to this, and I don't know if you had experiences like this as a child, and I don't know if going to a zoo next week would end up causing you to think about this all over again. But I want to encourage you that we live in a world of extraordinary diversity. We live in a world that the creation of how things come into being and the way things continue to grow and develop, for me, speaks of a creator. For me, speaks of one who is not dull and who is not boring, but one who is continually creative. And so as we take a look at this, I just really want to encourage you, because the truth of the matter is that there is any number of ways you can look at the world around us. It doesn't have to be simply through a trip to a particularly excellent zoo, that you can look at things and go, this is an amazing place that we've ended up in. And sometimes it's something no more complex than looking at the world around us. Sometimes it's looking through a microscope at biology. Sometimes it's looking up into the heavens and seeing the extraordinary astrodiversity that are out amongst the stars, the planets, and a variety of things like nebulas and bodies that create force but that you can't see, that are theorized as black holes. It doesn't matter where you look, but whether it's in what you can immediately see, whether it's what is below the range of what you can see with the naked eye, or whether it's something that we're using optics in order to look out into far, far distances. I think that the creation testifies to there being a God. And once there's a testimony that there is a God, then we have the question that is asked: has he left evidence of himself so we can discover the evidence, we can find him, and we can see the world change? I actually believe that this is here, and that this is found in the revelation that's known as the Bible. So maybe you need a trip to the zoo. Maybe you need some time with a microscope. Maybe you need some time with a telescope. Or maybe you want to leave in the comments underneath this video what you think would be helpful for people to start them on a journey towards looking for a creator who's an incredible engineer, who's fascinating, who's interesting, and who may have left evidence of himself for us to discover. Shalom.